Last week I did my own personal predictions for the Premier League season coming up, but today we're going to find out who is better at predictions, myself or Football Manager. I'm using a data update from Sort It Out SI, which gives us the up-to-date transfers and league tables, and I've simulated a year into the future to find out what Football Manager predicts. There are plenty of leagues to go through today. We've got England, Scotland, Spain, Italy, Germany and France to go through to find out who's going to win those titles come the end of the season. So we'll start off with the Premier League, and already at the first glance, I think my predictions are personally better than what Football Manager has come up with. Now, Liverpool, Man City top two, that seems reasonable to me. They've put Liverpool on top. Chelsea third, that's relatively reasonable in my opinion if they make the right signings, but Aston Villa in fourth, that seems a little bit far-fetched. Tottenham, Arsenal and Everton make up the rest of the European places. Everton in seventh is a wild card for me because I really do think they're going to get relegated this season. Leicester in eighth does feel a little bit high as well, but Man United in ninth, that actually could happen here in real life, particularly given the start they had against Brighton. Forest do manage to avoid the drop, which is quite nice, but Fulham, Palace and Bournemouth all getting relegated. Palace getting relegated, I'm not sure that's going to happen. But I do totally agree with Erling Haaland picking up the Golden Boot. I think he's going to do that for the next few seasons in a row. Also, I'm going to set you guys a challenge. The challenge is, if you've heard of any of these teams in this video, make sure you do drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you see any team that you recognise, you've got to like and subscribe. We'll quickly go through the lower leagues as well. Burnley going straight back up into the Premier League following a championship title season. Sheffield Wednesday promoted alongside Blackburn, who win the playoffs. Sunderland, Birmingham, Preston all going down. League One, and I tell you what, if Lincoln City actually came 12th this season in real life, I'd be pretty happy with that one. We need to improve on last season's 17th place. But Wednesday, Charlton and Plymouth all being promoted, with Bolton, Exeter, Port Vale and Forest Green all going down. I have to say, Exeter and Forest Green will not go down this season. They'll do very well, I think. Wimbledon and Doncaster are going to get themselves back promoted at the first time of asking from League Two, with Mansfield going one further than last season's playoff final by winning the playoffs this season to also get promoted alongside Bradford City. But Tranmere and Newport County, well, apparently they are going to be going back down to non-league. And in the National League, it's going to be a really high-scoring, tight season. Wrexham on 103 points, winning the title ahead of Chesterfield, who win the playoffs on 101 points. But Oldham and Notts County with 90-plus points, they must feel robbed if they don't get promoted with that many points. Maidstone, Maidenhead, Barnet and Dorking all going down. That's going to be a big shame for those clubs. Also, to see if these predictions come true across the season, I need an app to help me keep up to date with all the league tables, and that's where OneFootball comes in, the sponsors of today's video. It's the best football app out there to keep up to date with all the latest football news, scores and updates from around the world. And you can download it for absolutely free from the top line of the description. And depending on where you live, you can actually watch some of these leagues live on the app as well, which is really cool. Moving over to Scotland now, and it looks like Rangers are going to pick up the title ahead of Celtic this upcoming season by 5 points. Dundee, Hibs and Livingston in the European places. Aberdeen not even finishing in the top 6 this coming season, according to Football Manager. Kilmarnock, the team getting relegated. And if we have a quick look at the relegation playoff final, Motherwell beat Inverness in that to stay in the top flight. But Aberystwyth are the team winning the championship this season, and I believe that might be their first ever time in the Scottish Premiership if they did get promoted. Congrats to them, hopefully at the end of the season. Right, let's go through the other countries alphabetically, starting off with France and Ligue 1, and no surprise here, PSG winning the title ahead of Monaco and Marseille actually getting the other Champions League places. Good seasons for Monaco and Marseille coming up. Lyon in 4th place, Nice in 5th, but Strasbourg get themselves into 6th. Not bad going. I think Lille fans will be very upset with this season coming up. I think Montpellier fans and Rennes fans are hoping for a little bit more than 8th and 9th place as well. But Clermont Foot getting relegated, Toulouse just about avoiding relegation, and a team that I cannot pronounce getting relegated in 20th. Mbappe, 34 goals expected this upcoming season, and Messi with 14 assists. It's going to be a good season for those two apparently. A quick look into Ligue 2 as well. Bordeaux as champions, although I think they have been relegated to the 3rd tier in real life, so that's not been quite reflected in this database. So what we can say, instead of we take Bordeaux away, is that Dijon will win the title and Paris FC will come second. Right, let's move over to Germany now, and Bayern Munich are going to win the title by a long way ahead of Dortmund in 2nd place, 91 points to 69. Leverkusen and Gladbach finishing both on 56, but Leverkusen with a better goal difference will finish 3rd to take those Champions League places. Cologne, a pretty good season for them, coming in 5th place, a point off of Champions League places. They're going to get Europa League football, with Europa Conference League football going to Wolfsburg. Leipzig, interestingly, are not going to have a great season, although I do know that Šeško has not been added to them in this version of the database just yet because I got this a few days ago before Šeško moved over to Leipzig. I think they do really well there in real life. Never a dull moment at Schalke though. Looks like they're going to get relegated alongside Werder Bremen back down to Bundesliga 2. But reigning Europa League champions Frankfurt are not going to have a good season in 10th place there. They won't be too happy with that one. Freiburg fans be happy, although they're just missing out on European football. But other teams such as Hertha Berlin, Union Berlin, I think they'll see that as a poor season. Hanover and Arminia Bielefeld getting promoted from Bundesliga 2. A very tight season there at the top, as you can see. Bad news for Hamburg fans though, you will be subjected to another season of Zwei Bundesliga. Also, Hendrik Waden, my boy and big striker from the Venezia stream save I've got going on at the moment. You can watch me live on Twitch most evenings, link down in the description to get involved there. He's come top scorer with Hanover this coming season. If that happens, I'm going to claim that I scouted him and I'm going to claim that he's got all these goals because of me. Right, next up we're heading over to Italy and Serie A. Milan are going to win the title from Milan, but it's AC Milan picking up the title, Inter Milan in second place, Juventus forced down to third, and Jose Mourinho's Roma are going to sneak into those Champions League places. He's building a really good team there. Napoli, Atalanta and Lazio picking up those remaining European places, with Fiorentina just missing out. I'm sure Fiorentina fans will be very upset with that. But Spezia, Cremonese and Empoli all being relegated, and I'm sure plenty of those fans will not be happy. Interestingly though, as you can see, Lukaku picking up 28 goals across the season. If he does that in real life, he's only on loan from Chelsea, right, isn't it? I'm not sure if there's an option to buy into it or if they're just going to plan to sell him at the end of that loan deal at Inter Milan. But if he gets 28 goals for Inter, Chelsea fans are either going to be fuming that he's not done that at Chelsea or delighted that he'll come back to Chelsea and do that for them next season. Genoa end up winning Serie B to get back into the big time alongside Ternana, who will also get promoted in second place. It looks like the playoffs haven't actually taken place just yet in this version of the database, but I'd like to see Venezia go back up because of course I am streaming with them. I'm a big fan of Venezia and their kits, but as a football fan, Serie A doesn't quite feel right without Parma, does it? So it'd be good to see them get back into the top flight. And we'll finish off with Spain, and very interestingly, Barcelona winning the title from Real Madrid. Of course, this will massively depend if they can actually register the players that they've signed this summer. If Lewandowski does play, he will end up top scorer according to Football Manager, which makes a lot of sense. Despite Real Madrid coming second by just 2 points, none of their players feature in these top 3 attributes here for assists, average ratings or goals, so Madrid may be having a slightly poor season. Perhaps they've not capitalised on everything properly, but Atletico Madrid ending up coming in 3rd and Real Sociedad in 4th. I think there will be parties on the street of Cadiz if they can actually come 6th though. That would be amazing for Cadiz. With -1 goal difference as well, they sneak into the Europa League for the upcoming season. After that, Sevilla in 7th for Conference League and Villarreal in 5th place. Bilbao missing out on European football, as are Betis, Valencia, Celta Vigo. They'll be very unhappy with those, but Rayo Vallecano, Girona and Almeria all getting relegated. And looking down into the second tier of Spain, Malaga, my team in Spain, are just missing out on the playoffs. You hate to see it, but Granada and Real Zaragoza are the 2 teams up at the top of the table. There's a lot of big clubs in Spain's second tier, I must say. Las Palmas, Santander, they've also got Real Oviedo, they've also got Malaga, Sporting Gijón are pretty big. I feel like Huesca and Tenerife, maybe not Huesca, but Tenerife are probably quite big as well. And Granada and Real Zaragoza, they must have decent followings too. I feel like there are some really big teams in this second tier. It feels very much like the English Championship, or actually League One in England right now, where there are just so many big former Premier League teams right now. So there we go. That's exactly what Football Manager thinks is going to happen this upcoming season. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, where you think teams are going to finish this season, who's going to win all these leagues, and if you think any of these shouts that are outrageous, like Cadiz coming 6th or Aston Villa getting Champions League football, are going to come true in real life.